The United Nations and the World Trade Organization are insisting there's no need for people to fear eating pork and no need for countries to impose pork bans. Their statements a reaction to the news from Canadian health officials that some 200 pigs in Canada are now infected with the same strain of swine flu that has sickened so many people around the world. For some developments, I'm joined here in studio with the Director of the Department of Healthcare Epidemiology and Assistant Professor of Infectious Diseases at Stony Brook Medical Center. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right, I'm glad you're here because these pigs were apparently infected by someone who comes back from Mexico. That doesn't surprise you given what we know about the swine flu. So we talk about human-to-human transition, and now we're human-to-swine transmission as well?
It's not unusual. In fact, it's often the case that influenza viruses can pass between people and pigs or swine. It's more the norm than not.
And yet the USDA says, hey, don't worry about eating pork, everything's fine. You can imagine people thinking, well, if there's a virus in these pigs, pork wouldn't be safe. So you don't have a problem with what the USDA says?
What they're saying is that pork products and properly cooked pork are not problematic. The heat that is required for cooking the meat will take care of any virus that might be present.
Okay. They're cautioning anyone with flu-like symptoms to stay away from pigs. That would include, the farmers and people that deal with that. How likely do you think this is the kind of thing that perpetuates this virus, the transmission to animals, then the animals continue the virus, then it gets retransmitted to people? I mean, is that why this thing perpetuates itself?
The virus transmission between persons and pigs is not something that's uncommon. Well, the reason that you want to try and prevent people with this novel virus from interacting with otherwise well herds of swine are that the pigs can act as a kind of a melting pot and an exchange of bits and pieces of different types of viruses. And so the emergence of a novel or unusual or new virus often comes from that reassortment that occurs at the level of pigs.
I'm curious, because I'm still rather overwhelmed the fact that the country of Egypt is slaughtering all of its pigs, and without any presence of swine flu in that country at this point among the pigs. Is that overreaching in your estimation? I mean, is that a bit too much preventative measure? Or
I'm not really sure about all the background discussion that occurred behind that decision. I certainly would not think that that would be something we would do within the confines of anything more than a widespread problem. To preemptively cull the pigs without an infection is not something that I have a full understanding of the decision at this point.
But that's something we'd be doing here in the States now.
I don't anticipate that happening.
Okay. Dr. Susan Donlan there with Stony Brook Medical Center. Thank you very much, Doctor. Appreciate that.
My pleasure.